Okay, so I guess we should just start. Okay, should I go?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Marti Buckley. I'm a cookbook author and I have hair in my mouth. Sorry. Okay. Hi, I'm Marti Buckley. I'm a cookbook author. I'm an American living in Spain for the last 15 years. And today I'm going to be the one to teach you how to make patatas a la Riojana. Patatas a la Riojana means Rioja-style potatoes. Rioja, as you probably know, is a wine. It's also a region in the north of Spain, really close to where we are right now, which is San Sebastian. And they have this dish, which is basically the most delicious stew made of simple pantry ingredients. It's so easy, and it's way more than the sum of its parts. This is the kind of dish that is perfect for winter. It's cozy, it's comforting. It's the kind of dish that somebody from here might ask for as like their last meal because it's something that moms and grandmas make all the time. And it's made just from like pantry staple ingredients. So potatoes, onions, chorizo, which here is a staple ingredient in Spain, maybe not where you are, but it's easy to find. And then olive oil and some paprika, a little bit of wine, and that's it. And so it's super simple to make. Everybody loves it, and I want you guys to try it. So we're gonna start making it today. First, we're gonna start with an onion. Now, I'm not trying to feed a crowd, so I'm gonna make a smaller version of this recipe, but you can always double it. It's just so simple and so easy to make, and it's really tasty. So just like a mild yellow onion, sweet onion will work, a Spanish onion, as they say. And then we're just going to dice it into sort of medium to small pieces, okay? And then we're also going to get some garlic because what Spanish dish exists without a little bit of garlic? Now I'm gonna just throw in 1 clove. That's definitely up to you guys. This dish, one of the things I love about it is it's just so forgiving. Okay, so you can add extra onion, you can add extra chorizo, you can add extra potatoes, whatever you want. So we're just going to mince this garlic. Ugh, it smells so good. Garlic for me is like the smell of Spain. You can smell it in the streets, in the air, all the time. So now this is all gonna go together into our pot. I'm gonna turn it on, not too high, maybe medium high. And of course, what would a Spanish dish be without extra virgin olive oil? So we're just gonna do maybe a tablespoon or 2 into the pot. Let it warm up a little bit. And honestly, this is kind of how like almost all Spanish dishes start, with a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic, and then go from there. Okay, let's put it in. Okay, so what we're going for here is we're just going for like translucency. We're not trying to really brown anything. We just want it to kind of get a little bit translucent. So for this dish, we want a potato that is a little bit floury, so it's gonna kind of come apart as it cooks. The key to this really simple dish is the thyme, the stewing, and the potato sort of breaking down into the stew, into the broth, and thickening it. So how are we gonna do that? We're gonna use this very, very Spanish method. Once we have our more or less peeled potato, it doesn't have to be perfect. What we're going to do is we're going to cascar. So this is how we do it. You basically take a paring knife or a smaller knife, you insert it into the potato, just like 1 inch, and then you're gonna just break it. So what that does, if you can see it, we've got like a really uneven, sort of random, kind of rugged situation going on with our potato. It's far from perfect. And what this does for us, it makes it a lot easier for the potato to sort of let go of its starches. And what does that do? That makes the delicious, thicker broth, which is what we're looking for in this. So as you can see, this is just kind of simply cutting into the potato, cut in, lift, cut in, lift. Because if you're doing that clean slice, then it's just sort of, it's like sealing it in, right? It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have ever made biscuits, but I'm from Alabama, and so biscuits are something that we make a lot, and you can never, ever, ever sort of cut the round with a knife or with a cookie cutter because that sort of seals it in. Grandpas do this so quickly. I hope they don't watch this video. Okay, so we've got all of our potatoes cascada in their crazy shapes. The onions and the garlic are looking translucent and perfect. So now what we're gonna do is check and see. It's looking a little dry, so never have too much olive oil. We'll do a little bit more. And then we're going to add our potatoes. So just add them to the olive oil. And then we're going to add a little salt, which I don't know where I put it. Okay, here it is. Okay, so let's just put a little salt in. Like I said, I always like to salt as I go. It adds layers of flavor as the cooking happens. Okay, so with these potatoes, we're just going to let them stir fry a little bit with the olive oil, the onion, and the garlic. Okay, so maybe 5 minutes on there. Meanwhile, we can prepare the other items in our patatas a la riojana. And I have something very special here. It's chorizo. Okay, spoiler alert, it's chorizo. But this is chorizo straight from the Rioja, homemade by one of my friend's mothers or grandmothers. And if you guys could smell it, it smells so amazing. So you can use any Spanish dried chorizo. You can use sweet or you can use spicy. It's up to you. But if you can find stuff like this, this is the bomb. You can smell it right now. It smells like so smoky, so rich in flavor. You can just see it's like such a thing of beauty. Look at that, the cords just tied around there by the hands of my friend's parents. Actually, I got this chorizo, I bartered for this chorizo, actually. My little one outgrew her car seat and I was trying to give it to my friend and she was like, I have to give you money. I was like, I don't want money. She's like, well, let me give you some chorizo. I was like, oh, now we're talking. So she gave me a bunch of chorizo links from her family and some beans. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so let's stir up these potatoes so that they're cooking a little bit. Okay, so now chorizo. If you have an intense chorizo like mine, or even just a run-of-the-mill chorizo, it's pretty red. All that paprika, pimenton makes it sort of stain everything. It's already staining my hands, which is like so amazing. They're already orange. So I like to just maybe use a plastic cutting board or put down some oven paper, whatever works best, just to keep things easy to clean up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the chorizo and we're going to cut it just in little coins, okay? Not too thick, maybe just like that. It can be thicker. This is really, again, you just have to close your eyes and imagine that we're making this next to the vineyards that we're taking care of, okay? Out in the open. It's not an exact science. The more potatoes you use, the more chorizo you need to use. I'm using about half of a link of chorizo and 5 potatoes. That gives you an idea of the proportions. Now we're going to add it to the stew. So we're just going to dump it in like that. That's another reason that this is so handy. So we're like almost done. I told you guys this is really easy. So let's stir in the chorizo. It's going to start giving off some of its color. And just for good measure, what we're going to add is a little bit more paprika. So a little bit of pimenton. In this case, I have the sweet pimenton. It smells good. It smells kind of like the chorizo. So this is paprika, sweet paprika. I like to use Spanish paprika when possible because it is different than the Hungarian paprika. So I like to have both, honestly, at all times. Okay, so just a little spoonful, not too much. Throw it in there. And then another secret ingredient. Now, this is a dried guindilla, kind of like a cayenne pepper. What it's going to do is it's going to add some pepper flavor, some sweetness, and also some heat. Okay, so if your chorizo is already spicy, you might want to consider using this, consider not using this, but I'm going to use it. So I'm just going to break off the top, let the seeds fall out, and I'm going to drop it in. And guys, this is like literally almost the entire recipe. So let's get the heat back up. Okay, you see how that paprika is just like covering everything? It looks so good. Now, our last ingredient to add is really appropriate to a dish from Rioja, and it's wine. So we're gonna grab some white wine. I wanted to stick with the Rioja theme, so I got a white wine from Rioja. Rioja, of course, is much better known for their red wines. This one, however, is a white wine made from one of the oldest wineries in Rioja, Cune. over 100 years old. I think maybe 150. Actually, I've been to their winery, and the place where they keep all their barrels was designed by Gustav Eiffel, Eiffel Tower fame. Hey, love that sound. Okay, so with the wine, what we need here is just like a cup, a half cup, not too much. So we're just gonna pour it in. I'm not even measuring, you guys. What I really want you to know is just like how easy this is. It's so simple. It's really quick to throw together any time of year even. These are just pantry staples. So you don't even have to worry about measuring. I'm giving you measurements since you've probably never made this before, but it's just so simple. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we've added the wine. We are going to let the alcohol simmer off a little bit. And then we're just gonna add a bunch of water to cover this. Super simple. Okay, I'm gonna let the wine simmer just a little bit more. I mean, it looks so good already. The paprika and the chorizo is really like lending this gorgeous color already to this dish. I really want you guys to make this. I know it seems so simple and you're like, okay, what's the big deal? But when this finishes cooking, you're gonna see how it transforms into like this lovely, thick stew that literally anybody will eat. I started making this when I first moved to San Sebastian, 2010. I have a friend who lived there at the same time, and he still makes this. He says like on a regular basis. That's how good it is. It's just so simple, so filling. Okay, so we're adding the water to cover. It's done. I'm gonna give it one more stir. Maybe one more sprinkle of salt. And then we're just gonna bring it up to a simmer. We're gonna let it cook. We're gonna let it simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes until it starts to thicken up. We're gonna keep an eye on it. We don't wanna be stirring all the time. That's not what we're trying to do here. The potato is naturally the smaller pieces are uneven cut. This is where it comes in. They're going to break down and they're gonna lend a little thickness to the broth, and you're gonna see how different it looks in just like 10 or 15 minutes. And if you're looking for ideas of what to do, you can always be like me and have some of the wine that you use for cooking. Cheers. I feel like the whites from Rioja are like such a well-kept secret, and everybody's drinking red, but like there's some really good whites, and they've all got like some oak and a bunch of, you know, really complex flavors. So good. These have been going now for about 10 minutes. I'm sticking a fork into them, and I'm seeing like some of the smaller ones are done, but some of the bigger pieces are still not quite tender enough. So I'm going to let it keep bubbling. That's our test. And what you can also do, and what I usually do, is I usually smush like 2 or 3 potatoes so that the broth thickens up. You don't want to smush too many because then it's going to just be like way too thick at the end. But yeah, I usually take some of the smaller pieces and sort of use a fork and just kind of smush them against the side of the pan. And that helps the broth to get that thicker texture that we're looking for. Okay, so it's looking ready. We're nearing 15 minutes here, and you have to come see how good this looks. It looks so good. See how the broth has really thickened up with just a couple of potatoes that we squashed, and the other potatoes are breaking down as well. And you can see they're lovely, uneven shapes, and they just look so good and perfect. Tasting, it tastes so good. Just beyond the 2 pinches of salt, it doesn't need any more. The chorizo and the pepper and the paprika just add like such a depth of flavor. You guys are gonna love this if you make it at home. So I don't know about you, I can't wait any longer. I have to try this. It smells heavenly. I freaking love this dish because my daughters love it, my picky friends love it, everybody loves patatas a la Riojana, and you saw how easy it was. If you find that, if you get a little too potato squishing happy and you find that it's thickened up a little bit too much on you, all you have to do is add a little bit of water and then boil it a little longer. But you can see how delicious this looks. So tasty, so hearty, so easy. And, you know, pretty healthy as well, if that matters to you. I can't wait to taste it. I'm gonna try it now. It's really hot, but I can't. I just don't have any patience. However, I will say that if you can let it sit like 15, 20 minutes before you serve, then it lets everything kind of melt, and it's probably better to do that. Oh my God, this is so good. The potatoes are delicious. They're creamy inside. It's kind of spicy because I use that good homemade chorizo with all that spicy paprika in it. And the little chorizo now. It's so tender, delicious. I hope you guys make it so that you can try it. Taste how good this is. This is one of Spain's classic dishes from the Rioja. 3, 4, 5 ingredients and so quick and easy. Leave me a comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Adios.